Good afternoon, everyone. I, Yashika, and on behalf of our consultancy, I'd like to thank the board for the opportunity to provide recommendations on leadership strategies that will drive Aurora's future success. Once a leader in the field of renewable energy, Aurora Renewables is currently facing a pivotal moment characterized by a breakdown in ethics and decline in creativity. Employee confidence has been damaged, and the company's competitiveness has diminished as a result of harassment and whistleblower controversies. Aurora has to adopt leadership strategies that both re-establish its moral core and rekindle its creative potential if it hopes to reclaim its integrity and its place in the market. Next, please. So, there are two main issues Aurora is facing. The first one is ethical and cultural repair, and the second one is innovation and competitiveness decline. So, with the first one, a whistleblower report, as explained above, so it led to widespread harassment, bullying, and misconduct. Leadership failures led to resignations and a CEO ousting. Despite reforms, trust remained fragile. Employees still fear speaking up as a culture of caution still persists. The second one, innovation and competitiveness decline. It bold projects have stalled. Other industries are gaining momentum. Investors are frustrated. Internal debates and hesitation have replaced decisive innovation. Next, please. So, the next slide is explained by my team member, Gurnemat.
Moving towards our promise, it rebuilds trust and reignite innovation. So first of all, it repairs organizational culture, which rebuild trust and psychological safety through credible, fair, and ethically grounded leadership. Second one is revive innovation and competitiveness. It accelerates bold experimentation and market responsiveness with decisive visionary leadership. Third one is balance ethics and innovation. Navigating the tension between moral clarity and creative risk taking, both are essential for sustainable renewal. Last one is restore stakeholder confidence, in which there is reassurance investors and employees by demonstrating accountable leadership and a clear path forward. Then it is recommending on integrated leadership strategy, which will review it and apply the most effective leadership styles, transformational, transactional, servant, and paradoxical, which tailor to Aurora's evolving needs. Next one is our approaches, which will be four leadership styles. First one is transformational leadership, which inspires vision, creativity, and growth through motivation and ethical influence. Second one is transactional leadership, which will set clear goals, reward performance, and enforce accountability and consistency. Third one is servant leadership, which will prioritize empathy, trust, and employee well-being to rebuild culture. Last one is paradoxical leadership, which will balance ethics and innovation, embracing complexity without choosing sides. So these all leadership styles will be elaborated by my team members further. So Komal will be going to explain about transformational leadership.
Hello everyone, I'm Komal Basnet. I'm going to explain about transformational leadership. Aurora Renewables faces a dual challenge, repairing its damaged ethical culture while regaining its lost competitiveness in the renewable energy sector. Transformational leadership provides a valuable framework to address both challenges because it focuses on inspiring, motivating, and empowering employees through vision and integrity rather than control and compliance. According to Pass and Riggio, transformational leadership consists of four dimensions. First is idealized influence, second is inspirational motivation, third is intellectual stimulation, and fourth and the last is individualized consideration. Each of these dimensions directly aligns with Aurora's current need for ethical restoration and renewed innovation. First, I'm going to talk about idealized influence, which is the first dimension. It is critical for rebuilding trust. After the whistleblower scandal, employees lost confidence in the integrity of their leaders. Where is the slide? Transparent leaders demonstrate authenticity and ethical behavior, acting as role models who walk the talk. Second is individualized consideration helps to restore morale. Employees emerging from a toxic culture need empathy, support, and meaningful engagement. Transformational leaders show genuine care for individuals' growth and well-being. Third is inspirational motivation. It is used to re-energize the workforce by crafting a shared and values-driven vision, such as clean energy with integrity. Leaders can unite employees under a common purpose and reveal intrinsic motivation. And last is intellectual stimulation, which is key to reviving innovation. Aurra's tendency toward risk aversion and incremental improvements has eroded its competitiveness. Transformation leaders encourage creativity, challenge old assumptions, and empower teams to experiment and learn from failure. However, transformation leadership also carries risks. First is over-reliance on charisma without accountability can create unrealistic expectations or even manipulations. Furthermore, constant motivation may lead to emotional fatigue in a workforce still recovering from crisis. Therefore, transformational leadership should be supported by ethical governance and balanced with transactional elements, clear structures, consequences, performance feedback to maintain stability. Now, the next part is explained by Sivani.
So, in transactional leadership, it is a structured, exchange based style where leaders offer rewards and consequences based on employees' performance. It focuses on clear goals, accountability, and task completion. Unlike inspirational style, it thrives in low trust environment by stabilizing the operation and reinforcing fairness through consistent standard and measurable outcomes. Next slide, please. So, how to rebuild Aurora's reputation through transactional leadership? After harassment scandals, Aurora needed credibility and fairness. So, in transactional leadership, setting transparent and clear rules, that means set clear rules and fair punishment whenever someone breaks them, bonuses tied to ethical behavior and rebuilding the trust, reward staff with bonuses whenever they act honestly and following values, equal treatment for all the staff, no favoritism or special treatment for certain employees, a culture of accountability, not fear, meaning to say, making people taking responsibility for their actions without being scared. Good behavior being rewarded with work life balance and recognition. This exchange based approach helps restore Aurora's image and employee morale. Appreciate and good reward good work with praise and better work condition. Next slide, please. Driving innovation with transactional tools. Aurora's innovation stalled due to indecision. So we can use a milestone based funding to avoid zombie projects. Milestone based funding means giving money only when a project reaches its clear goals. So weak or stuck projects don't keep going. Make decision quickly with set time frames. No long meetings, no endless committees or delays. Reward fast learning, not just success. Praise teams for learning quickly, even if the idea doesn't work. Create bounded autonomy. That means let team work independently but with clear rules and goals. This structure speeds up the progress and position Aurora to lead globally again. Now, the next part will be read by Shivam.
Hello. Servant leadership is a people's first philosophy where leaders serve before leading. It emphasizes empathy, humility, ethics, and employee growth over hierarchy. Unlike control-based models, it rebuilds trust through care, openness, and empowerment. How to rebuild Aurora's reputation through servant leadership by listening, empathy, and ethical consistency to regain employee confidence, transparent action on feedback, and visible accountability for managers, a safe space for open dialogue without fear of retaliation, everyday leadership grounded in equity, transparency, and stewardship, ethical foundation that support durable innovation and cultural renewal. This care-driven approach helps restore Aura's integrity and employee engagement. Uh, periodi- Paradoxical leadership approach will be explained by Gurnamat.
Paradoxical leadership, which will diagnose Aurora's situation through the lens of paradoxical leadership. So, as my team members discussed before, Aurora faces a paradox which will rebuild trust needs stability while market revival demands bold innovation. Paradoxical leadership embraces both, avoiding either or choices. Prioritizing one over the other deepen imbalance. Instead, leaders must balance ethics and experimentation, where integrity fuels innovation and innovation supports ethical renewal. So, creating a dynamic coexistence essential for Aurora's recovery and long-term success. For Aurora, the issue is not choosing between ethics or innovation, it's learning to sustain both, as focusing only on compliance would freeze progress and choosing innovation without ethics would repeat past mistakes. So I'm going to explain about short-term recovery versus long-term renewal. Immediate action restores credibility, but lasting reform needs patience. So leaders must align quick wins with deep cultural repair, and managing this tension avoids superficial fixes and ensure visible yet meaningful progress. Fear versus freedom in this, despite reforms, employees remain cautious. So Aurora faces a fear-freedom paradox, and the staff seek safety yet crave creativity. Stability versus change. In this, Aurora needs a steady leadership to heal culture, yet agility to complete. So it needs both paradoxical leaders to balance ethical stability with experimentation, because paradoxical leadership is gonna work where ethical integrity fuels innovation and innovation reinforces integrity. Moving towards the flow chart, I can discuss about an ethical breakdown and an innovation decline. On one side, we can see that the company needs stability to rebuild trust after the misconduct scandals. But on the other side, it needs bold change to reignite an innovation and stay competitiveness. This tension creates ethics, and innovation sits right at the Aurora's heart. So that's where paradoxical leadership comes in. Instead of choosing side over the other, paradoxical leaders embrace both. They understand that ethical integrity and innovation are not opposites, even though they are independent forces that can strengthen each other. So rather than using an either or mindset, these leaders adopt a both and approach, balancing flexibility with control and stability with change. By concluding my part of paradoxical leadership, I want to say that if Aurora leaders can master this paradox by stabilizing all the things with flexibility and control with trust, as per according to the researchers, they can not only recover but lend a new era of sustainable innovation with some creativity, resilience, and creativity. So
So
next part will be
concluding,
conclusion,
thank you,
which will
Gurnamak.
be
So on concluding all the four leadership styles, Aurora must adopt. So instead of depending just on one dominating type, Aurora Renewables should embrace a hybrid leadership strategy that combines transformational servant and paradoxical leadership. No single approach can adequately handle both moral healing and commercial recovery, given Aurora's simultaneous crisis of ethical disintegration and innovation stagnation. So, for example, servant leadership should lead the cultural reset by restoring trust, safety, and integrity, whereas transformational leadership can reignite purpose, creativity, and performance. Stability, balance, and ethics can be handled by paradoxical leadership. So, leaders must adapt dynamically amid technological shifts and public scrutiny. This integrated approach helps Aurora's reclaim moral credibility and innovative strength in the renewable energy sector. Thank you so much. That was the end of our presentation. So these are some references